Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
So,
Silac,
according to
you...
chat, I'm dead.
Well,
They peeked the
chat...
monstrous manual and they told me I'm dead.
That's
Does
because
Silac
chat
wake
thinks I
up?
use monsters from the Monstrous Manual without changing them.
That's because chat thinks you even use books.
Yeah.
That's because chat thinks you're using actual dice over there.
And I'm using rules. Yeah, it hit Ryan. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, it missed him a bunch of times too. Ooh,
So,
whoops.
does Silac ever wake up?
Silac
Does he?
wakes up with the worst hangover you have ever had. And
Was it
no
a
idea of how much time has passed, but all the fires are out.
was it a dreamless sleep?
Yes.
Holy shit! I've got an appointment in a couple of. What is it at this point? Like a week?
You're not sure anymore. You could have been out
Ah,
for... Well,
can I pray for a spell at this point, or do I need a real rest?
you'd need a real rest.
I don't have time for that. Do they even have a calendar? Like, if I ran into that village screaming, "What day is it?" would they even be able to communicate to me how much time had passed?
Maybe, but they might not have the same calendar as you. Like, you don't... You know the days as they pass, you know roughly the seasons,
Yeah.
but you don't always
There
know what
is
day of the week it
there is a
is.
spell for this purpose,
What's it called?
but no time.
Ah.
This no time is particularly useful when the caster has been unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have minor access to divination, but
Can you
at
get
this
no
point,
time?
yeah, it's a level 1 pre-spell.
Oh, shit.
However, I do not have time for an 8-hour nap right now. Are my claws still just like there?
Yep,
Just
they
like
haven't
perched
moved.
on the ground?
They're literally in the exact same spot as you left them.
I pick them up and scramble down in the dark towards the room with the pool. Sort of like
Okay.
heart thumping, like, oh my god, what day is it? Am I late? Am I late? I go scrambling down.
You're hungry and thirsty, that's for sure.
I I think that takes a few moments to sink in. Like as I
Yeah.
have to start slowing down because I realize how dark it is, I have enough time to like think, oh God, I'm starving. I need sleep. Or I need real rest.
You need
Why is
water.
my head? Pinochle. Silac steps outside and finds a
Yeah.
mostly buried Statue of Liberty on the beach.
Yeah. Oh. One of the best endings to a movie ever.
So, I return to the room with the spine and the frog. How heavy was the frog? Well, I'll deal with that later. Oh, the frog was right next to me actually when I passed out, wasn't it?
It was near you, very near you, yeah.
So I should probably be able to tell by the state of the corpse what how much time has passed, but I'll think about that when I come back to it. For now, back to the chamber. I was only like 15 feet away, right? I didn't
Yeah.
get far.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wade into the water.
Okay, you
Uh,
can't really see anything this far into the cave. It's pretty much pitch black for you. It is pitch black for you, I should say.
you made fun of me for wanting a blind fighting proficiency.
I'm...
So I had a question, but I forgot. Oh, I was going to ask if hobgoblins wear shoes. That is a very silly question to ask right now. But am I wearing shoes? As I was thinking about wading into the water.
That's your call. Do you wear shoes?
I think so. They
Okay.
probably wear like scraps of boots and like hides around there. Yeah. So I was trying to visualize whether so I walk in there, fuzzy boots and all,
Okay.
just get soaking wet.
You
As I
wander
wade
around.
forward.
You wander around in
Looking
the
for-
water for a short while until it rises
How
out
deep
and you
does it
come
get?
to... Oh, it
Do I
doesn't
need to,
get
like,
past
doggy
your belly button, your navel. Until you climb up the other side and out onto dry land again. Feeling out before you, you feel some sort of bone And you grasp it in your hand.
Bone shaft.
Yes.
It seems like it's like held together. Like, is there something between the vertebrae, like
You,
linking them?
you
that I can
reach around
feel?
with your fingers trying to figure it out, and it just feels like vertebrae are stuck together. And I don't know.
Well, I give it. I guess the only vertebrae I've encountered, if I have any, were probably still held together by the
By the flesh.
formerly living tissue.
Or the hands that you have animated.
Yeah, those aren't. Yeah, those aren't vertebrae, but yeah, the bones
Yeah.
held together with flesh still. I give it a yank. Does it come out of the earth?
It rips out of the earth, and a fire engulfs the entire shaft from end to end, rolling over your hand without damaging you. It produces warmth and light, and when you feel out around it, it actually feels like burning heat. However, you seem to be unaffected by the flames.
Holy shit! In addition to the music, we should get like some sound effects for getting epic items.
Oh, there's a soundboard, but I can't pump it out to you.
That's fine.
I could pump it out to chat.
Not worth it. That was a dream. Future dicing with someday on Dicing with Death.
One day.
All right. So yeah, fucking crazy. Wasn't.
So,
I think I spend a minute or so in awe staring at this like burning spine in my hand. How long is it?
6 feet tall? No, 5 feet tall. It's the spine and tail of a large dog.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
There's
yeah.
no skull on the end
Nope.
or anything, right?
Nope.
Vertebrae, but it's held out straight. It doesn't have like a natural curve.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just
And do I like
there's a
see any?
slight curve to it on one part. There's a slight dip or rise depending on which way you hold it.
Does it look like there are is it magic holding the vertebrae together, or like are they just like hovering next to each other,
They are
or it's, like,
abutting
welded
each other.
together?
But it does not look like there's anything natural holding them together. You presume the flaming spine is held together magically. That's a very natural assumption to make,
All right.
or presumption.
Holding it over my head, I yeah. Yeah, I think my claws start to nervously chitter, and then I gain hold of myself, grip the staff over my head, and wade back out of the pool.
Okay. You
I
wade
think
back
Luton
out of the
hand.
pool. You make it to your hands. I assume you tell them to follow you.
I stop by the corpse of the frog first,
Hmm.
and take a look at it in the light of the fire. How is the flesh starting to rot? Does it smell? Would you like me to roll a perception check?
It smells. It is rotting.
So maybe a day or several days at the most, I hope.
Something like
Or
that.
just- All right. I pause for a moment to think whether it's worth playing with this frog, but realize I've got more important things to do, and start jogging out of this cave. As I jog, I guess I feel out my body and my hunger and my thirst. Which probably also give me a gauge of how long it's been. Like, because I hadn't eaten.
You're
till I
pretty
could-
thirsty.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
hadn't
say you're
eaten-
about to die, but you.
I do have a water skin. I don't know
Oh.
how full that was because I had been on the road,
Yeah.
but it's just I think it's like a half-gallon water skin.
Sure. Then you can drink water and be fine.
Okay. But the last time I ate was like a day and a half before coming to this hand. I
So
guess I
you-
ate the carrots. So like, yeah,
You're hungry for sure.
but not like starving to death.
You're not starving to death. It's not been a month. I mean, you would die without water after 3 days, so
Yeah.
less than 3 days.
So I sprint out. Is there sunlight creaking from the top of the cavern, or
Yes, as you exit, you see light in the sky. It looks
And I
like
just
it
go-
is near sunset.
I go running down the boulders, tumbling from boulder to boulder. In fact, I can take falls of 10 feet without taking damage, so I just like fall, go into a controlled fall down the cliffside.
Well, luckily the entrance to the cave was only like
If
15 feet up, so
if chat's curious, there's a video circulating the internet of Neil doing just that. Oh, I think they made it into a GIF, didn't they? Hopefully, someone will
God.
track it down and post the GIF in chat. Anyways, Psylocke tumbles down the mountain. Can as I'm tumbling, I try and see if I can turn off the flame of the staff. I don't try any like command words, but I see if like manipulating with my mind can do
Yes.
anything.
It does extinguish itself.
All right, so I will like tuck it into my. I probably continue to hold it actually, as I tumble down the mountain.
You find the body of Elfie completely ripped to shreds and torn apart. Something or some things have come by and eaten her.
So is there just a chain, or like can I? I spend a few minutes searching the surrounding area for the remains to see if I can find like a skull that's been picked clean or hands.
Yeah, there's some bones scattered about, but a good 3/4 of the half of the corpse is actually gone.
I don't.
The chain is still there, and the skull is still there, and then just like a couple of things here and there.
Do I have a bag? I have 5 pounds written for clothes. In your campaigns, you just include a basic backpack in the 5 pounds of clothes.
Typically. I do.
Okay, so I do have. So I shove the fragments of Elfie that I can find, including the chain, into my backpack.
Okay.
On second thought, I discard the chain. Right? Is there a symbolic need for that? Do I find that I don't have a religion proficiency to even roll? I think I discard the chain.
Okay.
You're free now, Elfie. As I toss her skull into my bag.
What do you do?
I return to the village. What would you call it? The hamlet?
Yeah, the village. Technically speaking, a hamlet has orchards, while a village has fields or animals.
We went over this, yeah. Okay. Right. So I continue jogging back to the village. Okay. I have pretty high con, so unless you're like imposing penalties for my fatigued state, I can jog for like 15 minutes. So I'm probably still like heart pumping, moving.
That's 5 miles away. You can make it there pretty easily. You get there.
5 miles.
Yeah,
so that's still going to be like an hour, a little less than an hour.
Yeah, you get there. No problem. Let's see. The sun is setting, so by the time you get to the village, it is dark once more.
God. I think I need to figure out how much time I have. I'm gonna need to I feel like I need to rest, like to get a night's sleep.
Yes.
Oh, I was encumbered, by the way. So when I was jogging, that would be at movement rate 12. All right, I'm going to eat the fuck out of some poor animal in the field. I am the fire bringer, so I think I start a small fire in just like in the middle of like are the animals allowed to like roam at night? Like are they sleeping in the fields or do they get pulled into a barn?
These animals are stuck in a pen. It's a crude fence built around them. The fence is fairly tall, actually. It's about 6 feet, and it's lots of things that have been kind of like nailed and lashed together. You can see through little slots and holes in it, and there is a gate on one end that you spotted the other day.
All right. I open the gate and step into the pen and just draw a dagger and is it sheep?
It's sheep. Yep.
Yeah, I slit the throat of one of the sheep. Let me know if you want to like roll a combat encounter versus the sheep, or if they're.
No, you can eventually you can like warily corner a sheep, and some of them are making some noise, and the others are a little skittish. But you get one by itself, and murder it.
These are probably wool sheep. They're used to being handled and shaved, right? Or at least
Sure.
normally. And maybe they milk them too. Do people drink sheep's milk? I don't think they do.
Uh,
But
they can. You don't,
yeah.
but it could be done.
Okay. So I drag the corpse of the sheep out of the pen. I disassemble some of the gate of the pen and make a small fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there in the field, at least maybe a couple hundred feet away from the nearest buildings. So I like drag the body a little ways, and I have a little bit of a cookout, and just like cut off some chunks of sheep flesh, quickly sear it over a fire, and eat it.
Nice.
Do the other sheep make noises? As I smell like death.
The other
I
sheep just
drag
stay
off
away
and-
from you. You say you make a
Okay.
fire in the pen?
No. A couple hundred feet away.
Okay, so well outside of the village.
Yeah, so I said a couple hundred feet from
Okay.
the nearest building. So if someone were to wake up at night and look out the window, I mean, they would see a fire in the field and
Mhm.
a emaciated hobgoblin feasting on their sheep.
Huh. You manage to
So I
get the sheep.
eat
You
as
cook
much as
it. Yeah, you can do this no problem.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone wakes up. No one wakes up, or if they do, no one comes out to bother you.
Yeah. Salak's favorite part is the brains and the eyeballs. In case you were curious. And I leave the charred, half butchered remains of the sheep in the fire
Okay.
as I slink out of the village
Okay.
into the night. So I think I'm needing sleep regardless. So I'm going to make a camp in the hills somewhere.
All right. You spend another
my
hour or
life.
so getting back into the
Yeah.
hills, where you make camp for the night.
Put up a tent and go to sleep.
Is the tent on your gear list?
It is.
Okay. Cool.
I'm pretty encumbered at this point, though.
So while
Oh, I guess it's probably too late to put my claws on guard duty, isn't it?
it is.
For next time. Maybe let's make that an always assume. Is that too much to ask?
It
That's
is too much to ask.
probably-
Um,
Who in these hills would dare fuck with me?
as you are making your camp, you have 60-foot infravision. It's nighttime. You spot a feline figure on the crest of a hill nearby you. And it starts to slink down the hill towards you. You can't make out too many details because it's dark.
Do I have a fire started? I probably didn't bother to start a fire. I was probably building a tent and I was just going to go straight
Yeah.
to sleep. I already
Yeah.
had my fire for the day. How large is the moon? And if I were a smarter man, I may be able to tell how much time has been based on the phases of the moon, but
It
I don't got that proficiency.
more than half, not quite full. Like 3/4.
Yeah. All right. So I toss my claws from my waist onto the ground and like move them into position like at 15 feet in front of me, and I start loading a bolt in my crossbow, like leaving the half-assembled tent to my side.
You hear a from the darkness before you. You
And
can give me a perception check. This creature is apparently very good at blending into things.
yeah. Surprised it didn't just leap on me and go straight for the kill.
You pretty quickly lose it in the darkness as it kind of moves from one thing to another, and
Yeah, I use my hearing as best I can and like rotate to face it. And if I have, yeah, do I have any conception of how close it is, or
you lost sight of it about 100 feet away.
okay? I
gets
assume I'm at like the
quiet.
top of a hill. I would.
Do you make
probably
camp
my
at tops of hills?
Yeah, unless it's
Okay.
a well. I don't know. I'm a plains goblin. No, but I think my instinct would be to make it at the top of a hill.
Okay.
At least, especially in this instance. Like maybe if there's a nice gully with like a creek nearby or something, you'd set up a camp in there, or
All
a
right.
nice cave with a poisoned toad nearby. You'd set up a camp there.
um,
But
so you stand waiting for this thing. You can't. You've lost sight of it. You're on the
yeah,
top of this hill, so it was coming up the slope here, but then you lost sight. You're not sure where it's going to be anymore. Give
I
me
ready in action to shoot it if I see it. But what am I giving you? Surprise or
a second perception check. Perfect.
barely
All right.
21?
You spot it coming out from you from like you're turning your head and you turn your head to the left. Your tent is kind of behind you, and you see this thing scampering towards you on all fours. You can't even hear it; it moves so quietly. But you get
Ooh,
yourself ready just in time to roll initiative.
I had a ready to action to shoot it whenever. I
Oh,
saw
well
it.
then you can take your ready to action right now.
Penalties for darkness, or does my infravision cover me?
Um,
Oh, there's oops.
that D in there. We'll just say you go first because you had your action readied. That's your turn this round. So.
No.
Um,
I pull the trigger too early and the creature pounces.
the bolt flies wide. The creature leaps at you.
In turn, I command my claws to leap, but that probably resolves next round.
It leaps towards you. You deftly step out of the way, so it misses its pounce on you, but it turns and tries to snap at you with its teeth, but to no avail. You continue to back out of the way as this mountain lion curls around and gets ready for its next strike. Give me an initiative roll.
Mountain Lion versus the Mountain Lion. D10. Right. I slip a dagger into my hand if I can, but I'm commanding the claws to leap into action, and they literally can leap 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We go first?
Oh God, yes.
A 15 and a 16.
Hit and hit. Unarmored
Probably
creature.
bonuses for back attack too. 5 points of damage as the two claws crush this poor mountain lion.
Holy shit. The mountain lion yelps with pain, and
I that round I command them to crush it till it dies,
Right.
and I yeah.
okay. The mountain lion aims its claw attacks at the claws on it. So one against one of your claws. Nope. Wait, what's the claw AC? Is it 10?
I think it's 13.
Okay. It misses. Second claw attack is also a miss, and then it tries to bite one of the claws off of you. It scores a hit with its bite, and I think one of your claws is dead.
If they die, can I reanimate them?
No,
right,
once destroyed, they are. Once the magic has been broken, they are forever broken. It takes a bite, rips one of your claws off of itself, rashes it in its teeth, and drops it to the ground.
How much damage?
4 points.
Okay. Do these have negative HP? Can I use a Cure Light Wounds on a claw, or is that
No, it's undead.
I'm gonna write a spell for this though. All right, so which claw was it? Not that it matters.
It was the second claw that you animated. The one with the shards sticking out of the
No.
back.
Sniffer.
Initiative. The mountain lion is literally like rolling around on the ground, like clawing at itself and like biting at itself, trying to get these things off of it.
It's like a dog with fleas or something.
Yeah, it's a nasty sight. Did you just roll a 2 for initiative?
Yeah.
You fucker. All right, you go first. Oh my god. Is that the claw or you?
That's the claw.
Oh god. The claw gets its way all the way to the mountain lion's throat, and you can just hear the sickening crunch as its larynx and throat is destroyed. It
Is that
gives a
enough to finish
sad,
it?
wheezing noise as it stops moving.
Okay, I finish it with my blade, but
Okay. It is dead.
I squat down and saw off one of its paws before finishing my tent and crawling in it to go to sleep. I leave the corpse like, I don't know, 20 feet away from the tent or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
to as a warning sign for other animals and perhaps as a sacrificial meal.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my claw to crush anything that walks in that tent, and I go to sleep.
Nice. Okay. You go to sleep. I'm just trying to gather experience ahead of time. Do. Nice. Okay. You go to sleep.
Yeah.
Morning arises. You are full from the sheep. Well, not full, but you are fed from the sheep before. You have a mountain lion before you now. You have
Yeah.
one
So
claw, and you could, in theory, animate the mountain lion claw.
yeah, that's what I was thinking I would try.
Um,
But I need to figure out where the fuck I am. So praying for spells, I kind of want to expend a spell slot, and there's really no way to do that. I mean, I could uselessly call upon faith. I don't know if we want to like. How does do I need to like come up? Do I need to like cast a spell to expend a spell slot?
no, you don't have to. It's
Like I just
considered wasteful to not use the
yeah.
spells that you have, so it is
Mm-hmm.
frowned upon. If used frequently, your goddess may stop giving you spells, but
Sure.
in occasion,
So I'd probably like spend maybe before. Oh no, I think I fell. Well, yeah, whatever. Okay, let's overwrite call upon faith with no time. No, let's look at the name of the spell. No time,
Ooh.
and replace my cure light wounds. So I've got cure light wounds, command, no time, cause light wounds. And I will cast no time immediately in quite a hurry.
Okay. You know, you were asleep for 36 hours is what you get.
Okay.
God, however
Enables
that
me
makes your
to
time
know
work out
the
for you.
time to the nearest minute, hour, day, month, and year. I don't know if you want to just breeze over that because you haven't established it in the context of this campaign, or maybe it doesn't mean anything in the context of a tribal hobgoblin society.
Right, but you know that it's been
I get what
36
I need.
hours plus
6 or
plus
so.
12 hours of travel and sleep.
Okay. So
So,
that puts me like a week out, almost maybe 6 days from the rendezvous. Does that sound right?
no, because when you left with Sniffer, you took two
Okay.
days to get to the cave, then you slept. This is one, yeah, so it was like 2 full days to the cave, and then it's been about 2 days since then. Yeah, it's been 4 days since you left your tribe, left the Spikefoot tribe. So that leaves you with 5 days, 4 or 5 days to get to the rendezvous spot.
Is Sniffer's hand still there?
It's on the
It's just like
ground. Yeah,
okay, but it's still like clearly like his hand. I'll take it as a token, even though
sure.
it's not useful to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had any relations, but give them something and tell them the story of how he sacrificed himself twice for the cause.
Okay.
All right, so I think I can still make it, but time is of the essence. Sorry, what did we establish? Like 4 days, 5 days? What did we decide?
4 or 5.
Okay.
You could definitely have enough time to get there if you beeline it.
Yeah, so I think I will set out that morning through the plains. I I think I'm going to be encumbered either way. I don't have a weight put for half of my half of my half of my elven slave.
You pretty much just have the skull, right? And a few
Yeah, and
bones.
so a few loose bones.
Okay.
But like it hasn't fully, it's still rotting. Like there's still a brain inside.
Yeah.
Fermented, did I tell you that fermented brains is Silak's double favorite?
Ew. Ew. How about fermented elven brains?
Yeah, is that like, would that make me sick? I kind of miss having Tyrus and his disease immunity. I know what I'm memorizing tomorrow: purify food and drink, and then I'm eating that brain,
Oh my
or at least
god.
at some point.
Oh
I'm
my
saving
god.
this until it gets extra ripe.
Oh my god. Okay.
So I'll take some time that morning actually to animate the mountain lion claw and do a crawling claw.
It is done. Please roll me some hit dice for it.
4. There we go.
No, because it's D3 plus
Oh,
1.
damn it! Grr, grr, grr. I keep forgetting. Oh my god! All right. At least it's easy for the bookkeeping, right? 2
Yeah.
2 HP crawling claws.
Nice. Cool. So you head off towards your rendezvous spot.
Ooh, I only have one more dose of scorpion tail venom, or scorpion venom left.
Are you just beelining? No, nothing else you want to do?
Yeah, I'm beelining. I want to, yeah. In case there's any further holdups or anything, I want to make sure that.
Okay. And what is the distance? It is like 50 miles ish.
Yeah, I'm half hoping that I'll bump into my own tribe along the way. I don't think I have to. It would have been nice even to like meet up with the Spikefoot and the mountain giants and make sure they leave on time. But I think at this point, I don't really have time to stop and check in on them.
Okay. When you as you get towards the road over here, if you can see that,
Yeah.
you notice that there are some smoking remains of what are probably villages or towns or whatever, kind of off in the distance. You can see like some smoke rising. You're pretty sure that these are areas that have been raided recently by one of these tribes. Who knows which one?
Is it which direction is it? Is it west back towards the hills?
There's a
or
couple.
across the road?
There's actually all around you. There's some to the north, some to the east, some to the south.
Okay. Well, I hope that that was the firebrands, because there may be some disputes if they find out that Spikefoot are raiding their territories, but I'll diplomatize with my 6 charisma when the time comes. If it's on the way, I think I will stop at one of these burning villages.
Okay. Yeah, you can swing through one of them. It looks completely destroyed. There are corpses everywhere. The remains of, a town. All the buildings have been burned to the ground. There's some dead animals about, and a lot that appear to be missing. It seems that maybe a bunch of animals have been gathered for supplies or something. Who knows?
I need a mount. A warg or something. Deal with that another day. There's no survivors. This is clearly the work of hobgoblins. They've just like swept.
Clearly the work of something, and not necessarily hobgoblins, but it's pretty brutal. There are bodies lay hacked to bits. There's even an area where there's a bunch of people that look like they were lined up and just slaughtered one after another, Genghis Khan style.
So this probably doesn't strike me as the work of my own tribe. Like we sort of treat our humans as. I mean, maybe perceptions are maybe things are changing now that I'm getting them all riled up for war. But we typically treat our humans like they're our herd animals. Like there's no reason to sweep through and kill all the humans unless they put up a resistance.
Right.
You kill the able-bodied men, and then you leave a functional village so that they can keep sowing the land for you.
Exactly. So either this is a different tribe, or it's not hobgoblins, or your tribe has gotten really bloodthirsty lately.
All acceptable options.
Mhm.
Salak is pleased with the carnage and the flame.
Okay.
Verasi would be pleased with the carnage and the flame. I whisper prayers under my breath as I walk amongst the bodies and the flames and the ashes,
Cool.
offering up these souls to the goddess. They may or may not be mine to offer up, but
After another
I called
day
it.
and a half of walking, you make it to the rendezvous spot on the beach. It has been a long journey, but you feel that you've accomplished what you've needed to do. You have, you don't even know what to call this weapon, but you have this flaming spine spear of a dog. You should come up with a name for it, actually, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
You have gathered the mountain giants in theory, and two tribes of hobgoblins, and a tribe of fishmen.
If they show up.
Yeah. Well, these are all in theory. Yeah.
So I'm probably a day or two early, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so describe for me. Do I see anything I just like come to an empty beach, right?
It's an empty beach.
I'm the first one here. All right. I pick a nice, imposing spot, a prominent spot to park my tent.
Okay.
And I make a camp. I set up my tent, and before it, I collect as much. I build the biggest fucking fire I've ever built in my entire life.
Do
I spend the next day and a half or however long until the rendezvous just collecting wood and kindling. If there's a village nearby, I like drag pieces of the buildings over.
how long? What do you use to start the fire, and when do you start it?
Immediately. So I think the first thing I make camp and I get the fire going and I just keep building the fire for the next
Do you
day.
use the old ways, or do you use your flaming spear?
Oh, I use the flaming spear. I think it'll be sticking in the ground on fire or in my hand on fire when people start to show up. But yeah, I would use the flaming spear. I think my instinct I would like start going for the flint and steel and realize, hey, wait a second. And
Nice.
turn it back on for the first time in a couple of days. Well,
Nice.
yeah. I think this is probably the first time that I use it to actually light a fire. I've probably been doing flint and steel the last couple of nights, sleeping out on the plains.
So, about 15 minutes into your fire starting, you hear a psst, Sarlacc! Sarlacc! And
Where am I, like near my camp, or am I like?
you're at your camp, like setting things up, putting your tent up, and getting ready to start the fire. And you
So I
see
haven't
up
even
on
started
the
fire.
the hillside is a hobgoblin. You recognize him as Gersh, one of the men in your tribe.
I look up. Hail, brother.
He waves at
he
you,
whispered to me?
and yeah, he's like whispering loudly to you from up on the hillside. And he beckons
I
you
look
towards
up.
him.
I sort of look around a little confused, like, who's this fucker to beckon me? You know who I am? And I approach him.
Okay. You arrive near Gersh. He's up on the top of a hill, so you have to climb up there somehow. But
Okay.
you get up there, and he's crouched low and whispering to you, and he says, "We've spotted the Spikefoot clan down in the plains. They've been going through and raiding towns. We're preparing to war with them. Come,
No,
we need
where-
you."
No, where is the chieftain? I must speak to him at once. And I start sprinting, not really sure where to sprint, but
Okay.
I start running, and then I look to Gur to direct me. What did you say his name was?
Gersh.
Gersh, not Gur.
Not Gur. Gersh.
Gurg. Like he likes bugs. He's my scorpion dealer. So this is This is Gersh, not
This is
Gurg.
Gersh, not Gurg. Right.
All right.
Gurg.
All right. So I break out into a run, and then I look to Gurg
He-
to point me unless
He leads you south You see your tribe and the Spikefoot tribe have set up maybe half-mile apart. The two camps are set, and the warriors are lined up, like beating themselves and giving their war cries, and it looks like both sides are preparing for battle and are taunting each other.
I come running down the hill, like waving my arms like a crazy person and shouting, "Wait!" And I'm trying to spot the chieftains, run towards them.
You see
Put myself in
Hammerhead
between the armies.
riding his. Did we say they were horses? Yeah. Hammerhead riding his horse, or sitting astride his horse, marching back or riding back and forth in front of the lines of people, getting them all amped up and ready for war. You see, even the female hobgoblins have come out with weapons, and that a wounded man has been left behind with the slaves.
All right. I beeline it to Hammerhead. I mean, is he like pacing on his horse? Or
Yeah.
standing?
You hear him giving like a very typical war cry, like, the men before us shall taste our blades and shall die tonight. We shall sow the fields with their blood. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All right.
And at
He
this point,
sees you coming and rears his horse over towards you and says, "Ah, Silak, it is good to have you. Today we will do battle and crush the Spikefoot clan that dare raid our territories."
how close are we to the rest of the men? Like, are they within earshot, or does he like, or
He rides out to meet you. They're definitely within earshot. You'd have to whisper not to be heard. Plus, you've got Gersh, who's right beside you.
I'm like panting. I catching my breath. I see that you have rallied the warriors. This is most excellent. But and then I like pause and look to Gerg and I say, "Fuck off, Gersh." And like nod
Gersh.
for him to join with.
He looks a little surprised, maybe a little insulted, gives an angry grunt, and storms off, very, very mad.
Hammerhead, your warriors are facing the wrong direction.
Nonsense!
Our quarry lies east, with the men. The Spikefoot are here as brothers in arms. I understand that they have wronged you, that they have burned our lands and taken our men, and milked them as their own. But
This shall not
drop-
stand.
these are but drops of blood in the bucket.
Do you dare defy my orders?
Do you dare defy the orders of Barassi? And I produce the bone. Damn it! Now's the time where I'm supposed to have a name for it. The spine spear. We'll insert it. It gets a name at some point. But I produce it from my waist, clutching it in both hands, and set it aflame.
Did you have it with you, or did you leave it at camp? Because you were setting up camp and scrambled up a hill to talk to
Said
the
I
person.
hadn't started the fire. So
That's true, but you had set up your tents and everything. I'm wondering if you would have set it down and then climbed the hill with it, or would you have climbed the hill with it left in camp?
I think if the fire hadn't been started yet, it would still be shoved in my belt.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, we can roll for it if you'd like.
No. If you think it was shoved in your belt, it's just awkward to carry a 5-foot spear in your belt. You can't really run with it in your belt. You would have.
So maybe I would have pulled it into my hand while I was running.
Okay. So yeah, you would have had it in your hand all along.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But
I
you
don't think I
you
would have
ignite
left
it.
it in. What's that?
You set it aflame.
I do. You dare defy the word of Barassi?
A momentary, almost instantaneous look of surprise crosses his face and disappears quickly again.
The Spikefoot ride from the hills in the west, the flames burning behind them. In their wake come the mountain giants. And we will meet with the Kuatoa on the shores on the morrow. The men are our enemies. It is most excellent that you have rallied the warriors to this cause. But the Spikefoot are our brothers in this. The sons and daughters of Arasi.
If that is the case, show me a sign of your fealty. Give me the burning spine.
I thrust it through his chest.
Yes, give me a roll to hit.
If I can like circle behind him and try and get a thiefy back attack, I would, but I don't know if that's probably.
He's mounted on a horse. He's not gonna just like let you walk behind him and yeah.
All right. Probably -3 for non-proficiency.
Sure.
Yeah. Plus any magic bonus, plus surprise.
Yeah, is he surprised? Yeah, he is surprised. He doesn't expect you to stab through him. So make me a roll to hit.
Natural 16.
That is a hit.
He is wearing like chain mail, right? But with surprise.
Oh, that's right. He's got the metal chain, right? That
Surprise should do it. +2 for surprise. Should do it.
Right, and then whatever. So you run him through with the spear. Please give me some spear damage. Give me D6 for the spear. Give me an extra D6 for the fire. Actually, D4 for the fire. D6 plus D4.
I shout, "Pry it from my cold, dead fingers," as I thrust it into his chest in one leaping motion.
It rips through the chains before him. His eyes go wide with surprise, and he pulls back, rears his horse around, and moves away. The other warriors have turned to look at this now as the two of you.
Do we want to take our break here? Like, I mean, is there actually a fight? Or
oh yeah, you guys are about to fight to the death here. So why don't we take our break, and we'll see if Ryan can finally, or if Silac can finally unite the tribes, put himself in the lead, and get ready for war. See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.